Distance education in the military sector. You might ask yourself, who uses distance education? Public and private colleges and elementary schools and even high schools, multi-million-dollar conglomerates such as large companies and businesses for training purposes, government agencies, and lastly, the United States military. The military uses distance education primarily for training soldiers how to perform specific tasks, but it can also be seen being used as a form of sharing information and/or providing education for our soldiers. The United States Air Force describes distance education as physical distance between the learner and instructor, sponsored by an academic institution or functional organization, part of a structured curriculum with stated objectives, provides for a two-way communication and feedback between institution and learner. It is deployed outside the confines of the resident schoolhouse, and it includes the process to evaluate learning outcomes. Over the years, technology and the ways of teaching and training individuals has changed. The U.S. military felt that they, too, could use the change and adopted distance education. Statistics show that in the year 2000, over 67,000 troops joined the military. Each of these individuals entered with different backgrounds and would also be performing different jobs. With this many people to train, the military thought that distance education may be more cost-effective, and in addition, it allowed for soldiers to get their training anywhere, anytime. TRADOC, who is responsible for military training and education, suggests, for reasons of cost and accessibility, the Army has a growing need for training to be delivered in the future on an anywhere, anytime basis through the distributed training technologies. As the United States military designed these new protocols, some changes and requirements were required before implementing their new plan. First, over 500 courses were redesigned to optimize accessibility for users and distance education courses. Secondly, training facilities were built. Lastly, supplies were readily available for military personnel to use. One way the military elected to use distance education was by the use of massive multiplayer online games. These MMOGs, massive multiplayer online games, were used as simulations in online game playing. Sawyer describes the benefits of MMOGs as they can foster strategic thinking and other learning benefits through repeated use. They utilize technology available to the general public, and they can intertwine both fictional and non-fictional events. One of the MMOGs being used in the military is the game Full Spectrum. Once the user has completed these simulations, they are in charge of attending debriefs and reflections. Given the need for decision-making, planning, and collaboration mentioned earlier, it is not surprising that Full Spectrum Wear focuses on quick decision-making by a squad leader in both urban combat as well as in peacekeeping missions. Instead of simply reacting to threats, the player must devise a strategy or plan. Another option the military has available for men and women in the armed forces is AUAO, Army University Access Online. AUAO provides young men and women free access to a variety of online courses. Associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees are offered. This is a great way for military personnel to take a few classes toward a degree program. So the true question is, what do soldiers think? These individuals, over 10,000 to be exact, were given a survey in 2000. This survey was distributed to over 10,000 participants and found that 2/3 of the majority felt that the classroom instruction was more beneficial than online education. Unfortunately, due to the amount of troops that we currently have, it is very difficult to provide classroom instruction for every job. Distance education can be found in numerous forms, from education to multi-million-dollar conglomerates, to government agencies, and to the military. But most importantly, it is helping provide education to the men and women fighting for our freedom.